I've been taking Athletic Greens, AG1, for a good few years now, actually. Every morning when I wake up, it's the first thing I do. It's a good way to also just get some water in. But yes, it's super expensive. But genuinely, I've felt such a difference. And just from all my research, it's the best kind of greens supplement powder. And using it, I found a massive decrease in how often I was getting sick. So, you know, when the doctor's is expensive, I'd rather spend my money on something to prevent me getting sick in the first place. But yeah, I haven't really showed it to you guys because, to be honest, the truth is, I didn't want to give too much free advertisement. But long story short, they were going to send me something, and they reached out, said they wanted to send something, and then they haven't. But anyway, I'm going to give them some advertisement because I love them, and I genuinely recommend AG1. Like, my whole family uses it now. Welcome back to another video, crew. Now it's time for our proper intro. So today is all about being patient and why patience is one of the key attributes if you want to become an elite athlete. So really I'm going to take you through where I'm at on the run. We've got 4 different sessions. First up is a bike session. We got some short 8-minute efforts. Then we're off to work, and I know it's good, but for work I get to take a young fella to the gym and I get to do a gym session at the same time. Yeah, good fun, I know. Then we'll come back, we got a swim session and a run, and we'll run, and I'm going to take you through where we're at and what the plan is. So let's get stuck in, eh? It's winter, so I've literally been living on the trainer. Like, I actually haven't ridden outside for probably like 4 months, potentially. So you've got to make sure you're using plenty of chafe cream. Gooch Goo, it's Aussie made, best in the biz. Make sure you get some goo on your gooch, crew. Now, this video being about patience also really isn't just about the run, but also about the ride. So I finished a couple of weeks ago my VO2 block, which was like 3 months long, and it progressed really, really well. And now we're just really kicking off a threshold block. So I had a couple messages, actually I had 3 separate messages from 3 different people the last couple of weeks asking me what I focus on during a session. Let me catch my breath. And what I explained to them was that I don't focus on power at all. So I think I've said this quite a few times in my videos, but like, all my sessions are effort based. My coach schedules effort based. So yes, we have ideas of what that power, what that speed should be. And generally you want to see a gradual progression up in those numbers, but session to session, day to day, there are going to be differences. The hard truth is we are age group triathletes who we have to work. We have families, things can come up, we can get sick. So there is definitely going to be more variation than, say, a professional. But I think what can be confusing is, yes, I do use power. Like, as you would have seen in my VO2 videos, like, more and more, as a block goes on, you become really, really honed in on exactly where your power sits. So you then use the power to your advantage. I was using erg mode. I was locked in and I was able to really manipulate the power to find the absolute specific effort. But best way to explain it is particularly when you're starting a new block, so like I am right now, 100% no erg mode. The last few sessions, I've actually completely turned off the data on Zwift, so I couldn't see anything. It was just all effort based, because to be honest, it's felt pretty average to start with, and that happens. Your body is changing changing its stimulus. So it can take a couple weeks to really kind of find that feel and break the spider webs, particularly when, like me, you've done such big blocks, like 3 months of VO2 is a lot. So yeah, as we're kicking off this threshold, the power definitely hasn't been my power that I've been pushing for threshold efforts has literally been like my ironman power, like 300, 310. I'm fit, legs feel pretty good so far this morning. Hopefully that ups to properly, I'd really expect my threshold power is really more around the 360. That's where it truly kind of lies. But we gotta let the stimulus kind of catch up, and in 2 weeks, no doubt we'll be right there. So what I say is be patient, right? Particularly when you're starting a new stimulus. Don't let data overrule how you feel. This is all about learning the body. How does it feel? So I've got 4 8-minute efforts, and I'm just gonna really go, where's the red line? Okay, back off. We're not sitting on the red line. We're just gonna be comfortably uncomfortable. So that's the session, and the power will be what the power will be. But the important thing is, we've got the next session, and the next session, and the next session, and then we rock up tomorrow, and we go again, and again, and again. So be patient, crew. Let's get to work. Here we go, crew. Time to work. Let's go. We have 4 minutes rest now. And then we go again. Probably actually gonna have to just back it up just a touch. I started out, felt good, maybe a touch of confidence. So I don't wanna turn these into harder than they're supposed to be. You're supposed to hit that right zone. So recover, we go again. Find the zone, find the effort, find the effort, find the effort, crew. Let's go. There we go, we are done. I'm just gonna do a cool down now. Yeah, I mean, not gonna beat around the bush. In the end, I was literally just pushing my Ironman power. But that is exactly the point of this video. Like, I actually thought about not doing this video because I knew the power I was gonna push. Like, look, if you're a new viewer, I'd go, damn, that's shit power. And the truth is, that is very amateur power for what I should be doing. Like 8-minute efforts around threshold should at least be 360. Like, that's a reasonable power output. But the whole point of this video and what I'm really learning and the focus that we are focusing on at the moment is we have, since New Zealand, I got injured 2 weeks before. Like, I was pushing over 300 for 120 kilometers, comfy as. So then I got injured and we couldn't race at New Zealand. What we've then done is completely strip everything right back. Tried to build the run up a bit too quick. We've had to drop that right back again. But the swim, again, fundamental, like at least 6 days a week. The ride, we committed to 3 months VO2, which means my ceiling is the highest it's ever been by far. Like, doing 45 minutes plus of 30-second on, 30-second off, 1 minute on, 1 minute off, like high 400s. Like, we progressed. But again, when I started the VO2 block as well, I was pushing rubbish power, and it took, quite a few weeks, and you get to the mindset where you're like, damn, maybe I'm struggling. Like, maybe I can't push the power I want to push. And then bang, the next week, as long as you're consistent and trust the process, it comes. And that's exactly what we've done. Because we set the ceiling so high, this level now, the next level, the threshold level, hasn't been touched in months. But what that means now is its ability to climb is so much higher because the ceiling is so much higher. So what we've got is massive delayed gratification here. Like we've invested in not building a age group athlete trying to get his pro license, but we've invested in an elite pro triathlete, building an elite pro triathlete. So the time will come, trust the process. And my key thing here is I'm saying, be patient. You don't have to be race fit all year. And in fact, by stripping things back and dialing in specifics, you can allow yourself to progress so much further than if you just tried to maintain that race level fitness. So yeah, there's a raw look at where we're at. You know, I trust that it's going to start clicking the next couple of weeks. Had a few little glimpses there where the power felt good, and it'll come. That's what we're doing, trusting the process. So yeah, I'm going to do my cool down. We'll have some brekkie, and then we'll head to work. Let's go. Me every morning is like, oh, I wonder what I'm going to have for breakfast this morning. And without a doubt, well, second breakfast, eggs, 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 eggs. Literally just live on eggs. Off to work we go. So Tuesday, it's blowing steam even in here. So Tuesday mornings I work with a young fella and I take him to the gym. So I'm a disability support care worker for new viewers. And I know, it's fantastic. I take him to the gym, which is actually a major, major win. It took a long time for us to get to this point. I won't have him on camera because he won't want to be on camera. But he's just such a ripper young fella. And so he loves us going to the gym, and he's, you know, kind of starting to find some purpose in the gym culture, like, and making progress physically, which is massive and obviously what, like, I love. So, hold on a sec, change lanes. Yeah, so it's honestly so good. And we go to Trademark Performance, which is with Tal, my masseuse as well. So you guys know him. Yeah, so it should be a ripper morning as always. Also, you'll see I've got the red belly black snake in the back there. She's been sitting idle for about a year now, waiting because the lever snapped and needs recabling and stuff. And anyway, I got to drop her at Trek on the way in, and I'm going to get her fixed up. And I think I'm actually going to sell her and buy a gravel bike, crew. So sad, but yeah, I'd rather a gravel bike. There we go, we've just made it to the pool and the sun's starting to come out as well, which is nice. Might even get a little bit of colour on my already translucent skin. So here is the session. So we got 3.4K, it's mostly aerobic. just key part in there is don't underestimate how beneficial these 12 by 100 alternating paces are, because so much for a long time, if you've been following for quite a while, so much what we've been doing is on pacing and effort and speed and really getting that correlation. So, sometimes you'll find if you go do a hard effort, you might be going slower than when you're doing like slightly easier efforts. So basically just really nailing down the pacing. So I'm getting that right, because as I've said before, it's not necessarily the fittest or fastest person that wins, but the person that can squeeze every last drop out and time it perfectly. So good, decent session. So let's get to work. Crew, I'm devastated. I had a pre-made an extra coffee shot to have before this swim, but it must be sitting on the bench at home, so I'm gonna have to do it caffeine boostless. But what I do have is one of these, Precision Hydration. It's like 60 gram chew that they come out with recently. And I bought a pack, and actually I bought 4 packs. Just to have them on hand, because they're so useful for right now when I'm onto my 3rd session. And practically, like, again, we're not pro triathletes. Like, we have to work, we have to, we have things to balance. So you can't always do things at the perfect time. You can't always go home and have a meal and a nap and, prepare perfectly for every session. So sometimes an option like this is a really good way to keep on top of your nutrition and make sure you're not going in too depleted. So I highly recommend. They're very yummy. Every lane is full, which often happens here. This is just my local 25 metre pool. But often, every lane is full, but people just go in whatever lane's free. So even if they're super slow doing breaststroke, they just jump in the fast lane. So my top tip for this situation, in which I have in front of me, is to jump in and you just drop a quick first 100, good couple tumble turns, and it works without fail every single time they move over to a slower lane. So let's give it a go. That's the swim done, crew. I am cook-a-doodle dude. Let's head home and have some lunch. Feels good to have a shower. Now, did Ruby take to work what I think she took to work? No, she didn't. Gonna have one of these. I just buy them when they're on sale. They're really good. Like the Muscle Chefs and stuff. Anyway, Coles just come out with their own home brand one. And this one's got 44.4 grams of protein and 46.8 grams of carbs. So it's just a really easy way to get in a decent meal, when right now I can't really be bothered going to the shops and getting stuff for lunch because the fridges are running right low, because I'm going to go to the shops later tonight. But this is just really good to have on hand, and then I'll have some other stuff as well. But definitely suggest stocking up with these when they're on sale. So it's 1:42 p.m. I need to do some work on the computer. It might be an hour, might be 2 hours. We'll just see how we go. And then we're going to head out for the run. Where are we with the run? Ooh, let's find out. You'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this is just an example of how, like, I'm just so grateful for my job. Like this, like how good is today? Today is about like, well, today is my best day of the week, but like, yeah, it's pretty flipping awesome that, you know, I got to go to the gym and then now I get to, you know, put my feet up and do some work at home. Working from home is the greatest thing. And I got Flo next to me and unlimited food as well. So yeah, I'll chip away at this and then we'll get ready to run, crew. So where are we with the run? Very shortly, a few days after that previous video, I was in the physio, in seeing my physio, Nick. And we did some more testing again, just to make sure everything was going good. And yeah, like all my calf work, all my, like, they have all this insane like equipment where you testing like your explosive power and like how high you can get, and it's way more data than I can possibly try explain without like showing it all. But long story short, we did a lot of testing and everything is fantastic. Like everything is still progressing, which is really good. And we did some running drills just to kind of have a look at my application of that. So you know, you've seen sessions of me doing, you know, some technique stuff, and you know, that's like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, but and that's good, and I've made progress, right? But still, what we found is like I'm still not that smooth with it. Like I have a lot. Watching me compared to a track athlete is a million miles different, and so what's happening there is my body's motor patterns, like my coordination at hitting the specific foot like motion, I'm not where I could be, right? So we saw, okay, well, that's like a really good area for us to start. And so what we've done is, yes, I built way too quick. Like it's very easy to look on like in hindsight, but yeah, I built too quick. I was too confident, and for the next few months, we are so restricted. So I'm actually only doing running drill sessions right now. And don't get me wrong, you're about to see one of them and they're actually tough. My heart rate gets like well over 170. Like when you're doing these repeated motions, these repeated techniques, and you're popping, what you're doing is you're activating the running motion, and it's with full force, full purpose, and it's really high intensity without the massive load that comes with running. And so you're just repeating like 100%. And like, it's actually really tiring. Like your muscles feel it, particularly the next day as well. And this, I did a running session yesterday as well. So we'll see how we go. I'm probably going to be cautious because this is the first one I'm doing that's back to back. So long story short, we're all good. I built too quick. I got too ahead of myself. Like we're just having to strip right back. And the whole point of this now is like, well, you know, how much time can I save? How much free speed can I find? You know, a second every kilometer or 2 seconds every kilometer isn't that much in the scheme of things, but over a marathon, it's a minute and a half. So like all these small details, like why as endurance athletes do we not do technique like running work? Like you'll see track runners, they'll do a 2-hour session and literally only run 4 laps, and the rest of their time they're just doing like technique stuff. So like, why aren't we learning something from them? So anyway, we've stripped things back because I'm really honing in on this and pumping it. And it's, you know, it won't look like much because you're just going to see a small clip. But if I encourage you, go out, try do it for 30 minutes. It's really hard and intense. So that's where we're at. I'm really positive. We're making progress. I just need to be patient and trust the process and trust that like what I'm doing here will be setting the foundations for a truly elite running form and an injury-free running form. So yeah, Crow, I'm going to do some more stretching and then we'll get stuck into it, hey? I'm a little bit delayed, sorry guys, because I just had a really big and good chat with Scott, my strength coach, just kind of going everything, the program, what we're doing, and he brought in that, you know, we might start doing some more isolated big toe exercises. I can't actually remember what the specific muscle is. I'm sure one of you will know. There's probably a physio watching this. Just like the challenge is like literally if I did every single thing that has been suggested by everyone, all I would actually do is spend my whole time in the gym doing rehab. But obviously that's not plausible. So just trying to, like, I have a really good team. Like I have four key people, my physio Nick, my actual coach Cam, Tal at Trademark Performance, and my strength coach Scott. And Scott is, he's a weapon. He's the head of flipping GWS at the moment. Anyway, can't remember his specific title, but he's the head fitness dude there. So things are going, like I have a really good team, all coming from slightly different angles, slightly different perspectives. And at the end of the day, I also just kind of have to trust myself and trust what I've learned. And so, yes, we're doing this technique work. I definitely think there is a lot of really key things I can learn from this in the motor pattern and great foundation. And we are going to progress, you know. So as long as I wake up all good from this afternoon, I'm probably going to implement a few kilometre run later this week, which will be stop start, you know, it'll probably be like 300 on, 50 off, like just really gradually implement that. So be patient, crew. This is the whole point of what we are doing. We're building patiently and we're building the foundations for an elite run form. So let's get stuck into it. So what you're seeing here, this is my key exercise. So I'm probably going to do this about 30 times up and back, and it's really loading that one leg. Will switch legs between where we're max pushing off, and it's a really, really good exercise, and trust me, you feel it, and it's just that 100% push. So I'm going to keep doing this. Now we're going to go into something called the Hitlers, which it's just an exercise, don't worry. Whew. Alright, we've done a few of these. Now we're going to build them into Hitlers into strides. So highly recommend this exercise. Give it a go. You'll really feel that strong contact, then push you forward really nicely when you go into the strides. So give these ones a go, definitely. How pretty. What a way to finish the video, crew. Whew. Epic. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that went. Like, you know, no issues, no pain. So just another good session banked. Like, I don't know, it might not look like much, but like definitely just give these a go, right? Like, I mean, I only showed you a few of the ones I do, but definitely like look up some running track drills. Like it feels really good at the end when you then go into the strides. You like speed just comes so easy, and that's because your brain is just so switched on and firing the right muscles. So repetitive of these, and we'll get there, crew. Start bringing in the running bit by bit, nice and patient, and we'll be on our way, crew. We will. Trust the process. The time will come. And yeah, thanks for coming along on another day, crew. Yeah, back at it tomorrow. Same again, day by day. See you at the next one, crew. Woo!